Today we will sing prayers to the Sixth Goswami's. We have sang many times. Always wonderful to remind us. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritambo Nidhi Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritambo Nidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Yo Priya Karo Nirmatsarao Pujito Dhira Dhira Jana Priya Priya Karo Nirmatsarao Pujito Shri Chaitanya Kripa Bharo Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Nana Shastra Vicharinai Kanipuno Sadharma Samsthapako Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manya Charanya Karo Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nandena Mataliko Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nandena Mataliko Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Shri Gauranga Gunanuvarnana Vidho Shraddha Samrid Anvito Apotapanikrintano Tanubhita Govinda Ganamritaye Anandam कैवल्यानिष्ठारको वन्दे रूपा सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको त्यक्त्वा तूर्णमशेषमण्डलपति श्रेणिं सदा तुच्छवा त्यक्त्वा तूर्णमशेषमण्डलपति श्रेणिं सदा तुच्छवा भूत्वा दीनगणेश करुणया कौपीनकण्ठाश्रितो गोपीभावरसामृताब्धिलहरी कल्लोलामग्नौ मुहुः वन्दे रूपसनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको कूजत् कोकिलहंससारसगणा कीर्णे मयूराकुले नानारत्ननिबद्धमूलविटपा श्रीयुक्ता वृन्दावने राधाकृष्णम् अहर्निशं प्रभजतो जीवार्थदौ यौ मुरा वन्दे रूपसनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको संख्यापूर्वकनामगाननटिभिः कालावसानीकृतो निद्राहारविहारकादिविजितो चात्यन्तादीनौ च यो राधाकृष्णगुणास्मृतिर्मधुरिमा नन्देन सम्मोहितो वन्दे रूपसनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको राधाकुण्डतटे कलिन्दतनया तीरे च वंशीवटे प्रेमोन्मादवशादशेषदशया ग्रस्तौ प्रमत्तौ सदा गायन्तौ च कदा हरिर्गुणवरं भावाभिभूतौ मुदा वन्दे रूपसनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको हे राधे ब्रज देवी के चललिते हे नंद शुनुकुता हे राधे ब्रज देवी के चललिते हे नंद सुनुकुता श्री गोवर्धन कल्पपादपतले कालिंदी वर्णिकुता घोषन्ताविति सर्व भवतो व्रजपुरे खेदैर्महाविवलो वन्दे रूपसनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको कृष्ण कीर्तन गान नर्तन करो प्रेमामृताम्बो निधि धीर अधीर जना प्रियो प्रियकरो निर्मत्सरो पूजितो श्रीचैतन्य कृपाभरो भुवि भुवो भारावहन्तारको वन्दे रूपसनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको नानाशास्त्रविचारणैकनिपुणो सधर्म संस्थापको लोकानां हितकारिणो त्रिभुवने मान्यो शरण्यकरो राधा कृष्ण पदारविन्द भजना नन्देन नतालिको वन्दे रूपसनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको श्रीगौरङ्ग गुणानुवर्णनविधो श्रद्धा स्मृतिरन्वितो पापोतापनिकृन्तनो तनुभृतां गोविन्द गानामृते आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनैकनिपुणो कैवल्यानिष्टारको वन्दे रूपसनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको त्यक्त्वा पूर्णमशेषमण्डलपति श्रेणिं सदा तुच्छवा दीनगणेशकौ करुणया कौपीनकण्ठाश्रितो गोपीभावरसामृताब्धिलहरी कल्लोलामग्नो मोहो वन्दे रूपसनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको पूजत्कोकिलहं ससादशगणा कीर्णे मयूराकुले नानारत्ननिबद्धमूलवितपा श्रीयुक्ता वृन्दावने राधा कृष्ण महिर्निशं प्रभजतो जीवार्थदो यो मूढा वन्दे रूपसनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको संख्यापूर्वक नाम गान नटिभिः कालावसानीकृतो निद्राहार विहारकादिविजितो चात्यन्तादीनौ च यो राधा कृष्ण गुणास्मृतिर्मधुरिमा नन्देन सम्मोहितो वन्दे रूपसनातन रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको राधाकुण्डतटे कलिन्दतनया दीने च वंशीवटे प्रेमो नादवसादशेष दशया व्यस्तौ प्रमत्तौ सदा गायन्तौ च कदा हरेर्गुणवरं वावाभिभूतौ मुधा वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको हे राधे व्रज देवी के चललिते हे नंद सुनो कुता श्री गोवर्धन कल्पपाद पतले कालिंदी वने कुता घोषन्ताविति सर्वतो व्रजपुरे हे महाविबलो वन्दे रूपसनातना रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको वन्दे रूपसनातना रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको वन्दे रूपसनातना रघुयुगो श्रीजीवा गोपालको. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are always engaged in the chanting of the holy name of, who are always engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna and dancing. They are just like the ocean of love of God, and they are popular both with the gentle and with the ruffians, because they are not envious of anyone. Whatever they do, they are all pleasing to everyone, and they are fully blessed by Lord Chaitanya. Thus, they are engaged in missionary activities meant to deliver all the conditioned souls in the material universe. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of, because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very much enriched in understanding of Lord Chaitanya and who are thus expert in narrating his transcendental qualities. They can purify all conditioned souls from the reactions of their sinful activities by pouring upon them transcendental songs about Govinda. As such, they are very expert in increasing the limits of the ocean of transcendental bliss, and they are the saviors of the living entities from the devouring mouth of liberation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who kicked off all association of aristocracy as insignificant in order to deliver the poor conditioned souls. They accepted lion clothes, treating themselves as mendicants, but they are always merged in the ecstatic ocean of gopis' love for Krishna, and bathe always and bathe always and repeatedly in the waves of that ocean. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are always engaged in worshipping Radha Krishna in the transcendental land of Vrindavan, where there are beautiful trees full of fruits and flowers which have under their roots all valuable jewels. The Goswamis are perfectly competent to bestow upon the living entities the greatest boon of the goal of life. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are engaged in chanting the holy names of the Lord and bowing down in a scheduled measurement. In this way, they utilize their valuable lives, and in executing these devotional activities, they conquered over eating and sleeping, and were always meek and humble, enchanted by remembering the transcendental qualities of the Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who were sometimes on the bank of the Radha Kund lake or the shores of the Yamuna, and sometimes at Vamsivata. There they appear just like madmen in the full ecstasy of love for Krishna, exhibiting different transcendental symptoms in their bodies, and they were merged in the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are chanting very loudly everywhere in Vrindavan, shouting, O Queen of Vrindavan, Radharani, O Lalita, O son of Nanda Maharaj, where are you all now? Are you just on the hill of Govardhan? Or are you under the trees on the bank of Yamuna? Where are you? These were their moods in executing Krishna consciousness. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjanashakaya Chakshumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayan Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhube Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripatamahamam bande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Punishing Kala Krishna Das. So last week we discussed up to then Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Bhavananda Roy back to his home, and he kept only Vani Nath Patnaik in his personal service. So we saw the surrender of Bhavananda, who was Pandu, who came to meet Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back from South India too, and he took his residence in the house of Kashi Mishra in a room called Gambhira. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was the Brahmana leader, spiritual leader for all over Puri and even the king. All the Pandas, they begged Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, can you introduce us to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya introduced all the servants of Jagannath. And then Bhavananda Roy came with four sons. One of the sons was Ramananda Roy, who was Arjun and who was Vishaka Shaki simultaneously. And then Bhavananda Roy surrendered. I offer my life, I offer my mind, I offer my body, I offer everything in your service. Please consider us as your servants, and please keep this one son in your service, Vaninath. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that you are my servant, birth after birth. And then he placed his foot, lotus feet, on the head of all the sons. And then he accepted Vaninath uh, and sent rest of them back. And then once everybody left, all the pandas left, and Bhavananda Roy and the sons left, only Vaninath remaining. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to punish Kala Krishna Das. So Sarvabhattacharya then asked all the people to leave. Afterwards, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called for Kala Krishna Das, who had accompanied the Lord during his South India tour. So time for justice. So far, only Sarvabhattacharya was introducing. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself called. Otherwise, he was just sitting and receiving. Now he said, "Yeah, Kala Krishna Das, you come here." प्रभु कहे भट्टाचार्य सुना इहार चरिता दक्षिणे गिया छिला इहा हमारे सहिता. सो प्रभु बोले भट्टाचार्य सुना इहार चरिता, इनका चरित्र सुनिए. Hear his pastimes, hear his character, charita. दक्षिणा गिया दक्षिणा गिया छिला इहा हमारे सहिता. He went to me with South India too. So now hear something about him. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "My dear Bhattacharya, now consider the character, charita of this man who went with me to South India. He left my company to associate with Bhattadharis, but I rescued him from their company and brought him here. And he left me. Now that I have brought him here, I am asking him to leave. Now he can go wherever he likes, for I am no longer responsible for him." So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt when he was there that, he is my servant, so it is the duty of the master to protect the servant. Otherwise, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is usually very grave. We see any mistake, he doesn't tolerate. But then he thought, well, it is my responsibility. So he said, now the service is done, go away. And wherever you want, I'm not no longer responsible for you. Prabhupada says their Maya is so strong that Kala Krishna Das left Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's company to join Gipsy women. Gipsy women, same as Bhattadharinis. Uh, and Prabhupada says, even like, three modes, Maya is Krishna's servant. Maya Dakshina Prakriti works under Krishna's direction. And even in the personal company of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is full of divinity, Maya pulled him away. But to speak about those living entities, I mean, Kala Krishna Das, see the environment, see the surroundings. Um, um, and this is like 500 years back. Actually, 500 years back, the culture was very, very refined. Um, the way they would, there are no, right now, Kali is very aggressive because of this um, internet age and the way people meet in public, the way they dress, the way they speak. The culture is very gross. But 500 years back, like all the women would wear the, like veil on their heads. Nobody would see their faces. The culture was, I mean, just 100 years back, like our grandparents, the culture was so refined. But to speak about 500 years back, so refined culture. There was no even um, cameras to take photographs also. Everything was like, if you see, just movie industry started like 100 years back. That time it was black and white movies only, like 100 years back. So imagine the culture 500 years back. Even in that environment, like Prabhupada used to say, America's den of Maya. So in that environment, Kala Krishna Das, in the company of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada is telling, see how strong the Maya is. She has been strong since time immemorial. Even great sages like Vishwamitra Muni fell victimized. And here he's a Brahmana. Usually Brahmanas during that time. Nowadays, Brahmana caste is, more and more. kind of. They're not following the principles, most of the Brahmanas, except a few that they're supposed to follow. But that time, Brahmana caste was very worthy, actually. Um, one, one like um, um, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gave sannyas only to those from Brahmana caste because if and because the idea was if they're not born Brahmana caste, then when they are weak, they will give in to Maya. And then they may give up their sannyas ashram or may perform sinful activities while in sannyas ashram, and that will be a great offense. So he did not give to anybody other than Brahmana caste. And it is also said none of the sannyasis fell down during Saraswati Thakur's time. All sannyasis remained. Um, um, so this is Saraswati Thakur, which is just 100 years back. That time, Brahmana caste were um, they were quite strict people, quite religious people. So and then he performed such activity. Only one who is overwhelmed by Maya can be so unfortunate as to leave Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's company. Yet, unless one is very conscientious, the influence of Maya can drag one away. Conscientious means conscious. Um, Maya is at our fingertips, so it becomes the responsibility of an individual to be conscious, um, not to give in to the demands of Maya. This is factual evidence showing that it is possible at any time to fall down from the Lord's association. One need only misuse his little independence. Independence is always there. Today, tomorrow, minute to minute, independence is there. So one may fall down at any time. Especially, it is seen that when we come to Krishna consciousness, like 1 month back, we are very careful. But when some years passes by, then one becomes little relaxed, thinking that now I know what to do, what not to do, and we may start weakening the principles. We may. I'm sure most of us are very sincere, but we may start weakening the principles, and drop by drop we start relaxing our guards. In the beginning, we have strong guards. What is Maya? What is not Maya? And we are strict. Then slowly we start weakening our guards, and then slowly Maya starts creeping, slow, very gradually. Um, and because we are relaxing our guards so gradually, it seems like everything is all right, everything is still all right, everything is still all right, and Maya starts capturing us little by little, little more, little more, little more. And her nature is we don't identify her, and we think, yeah, this is Krishna conscious only, and this is all within my zone, this is all within my zone. But she's gradually removing layer after layer of our shield. We have our shield, protection from Maya. She gradually removes a layer and another layer, another layer, and it seems like I still have a shield. I'm still being very careful. And then at some point of time, we realize that only a thin sheet left, and we are face to face with Maya, and we may give in to it any minute. So that's why Prabhupada says, unless one is very conscientious, conscious, that requires discrimination power. Paramatma hails from within. Paramatma tells us, but along with Paramatma, Maya also tells us that's all right. Paramatma says, see, this is not good. Maya says, this is all right. This is within the zone of Krishna only. This is all right. And Maya captures different people in different ways. Kala Krishna Das was captured uh, through women. Somebody may be captured through movies, through restaurants, through videos not connected to Krishna. Like one person, he recently chanting 16 rounds, very nice sadhaka. And recently he told me that, oh, I started watching some serials on internet. I said, okay, bro, you are in red zone now. If you don't uh, uh, change. I told him that somehow you have come to this state, means a lot of contemplation has gone in the past. You are not sufficiently busy, and you have not trained yourself how to use your day. So one must train oneself. How can I remain Krishna conscious during this time, during this time, during this time, and during this time also? Um, what happens is it's very easy to deviate because there is attachments, uh, and many times we don't experience Krishna conscious pleasure, so very easy to deviate, and then we capture impressions. And I asked him, Prabhu, I guarantee you, while chanting, the characters of those videos will be coming in your chanting. He said, yes, Prabhuji. And it's unavoidable, Prabhu. If you watch videos, what will happen? And then you lose taste in chanting, you give in more, and then one may say, well, this is just very simple, very pure, very safe. But mind is very eager to capture impressions, actually. um, Chanting helps the mind to become purified. Actually, our inspiration should come from internals, should come from revelations, should come from reading Shastras. If we remain pure and patient, gradually all the revelation will be revealed to us from within our heart. And Maya knows our weak point, and she will capture wherever the weak point is. Our weak point may be kids. Our weak point may be, I don't know. Different people have different weak points. Maybe shopping. Um, Maya, uh, um, she is, she knows where how to attack whom. At the same time, Guru's Vani, Prabhupada's Vani, mm, and the Lord in the heart, they will guide us. But then, um, like it is said, a tree is known by its fruit. If our consciousness is going down, and the thoughts are becoming polluted by any means, um, um, one should become little strict. Um, Krishna also says that um, mm, he offers protection. One makes mistake, then one repents, then one realizes, one becomes very strict, and then one again raises the guards, then again one gradually becomes weak, and again makes a mistake, again realizes, repent, and raises the guard, and this continues for some time till one gains, by the practice of bhakti, stronger determination that okay, this is a gray zone. And so that's good. But sometimes it may happen that one may weaken one's guard, and one may engage in, you know, a wrong thing that increases the propensity to do the wrong thing again. And there is a, if one is not repentant and one is not very careful to come back, mm, there is a down route which may simply take away our Krishna consciousness also. At least for some time, it is never lost. Eventually, Krishna will attract us, but Krishna will give us some hard experiences of what material world is. We don't want to go through them. So eventually, nothing is lost. But why waste time, or why waste lives, many lives? So one has to be very careful. So Prabhupada says, unless one is very conscientious, the influence of Maya can drag one away. So one need only misuse his little independence. We have independence. We just now read the prayers by Sixth Goswami'S. Now imagine we have many work to do. That's a blessing because we don't have attraction, taste to Krishna. So we cannot just sit around and chant 192 rounds or more whole day. Even if we have a whole day off, can we chant whole day? Can we read whole day? Nowadays, many holidays are going on. Free time becomes a curse for many devotees. And um, um, see how the whole day is going. Now imagine the six Goswamis, see their adhikar. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they were living under a tree whole day by themselves. They have to manage now. They are naturally Rupa Manjari and Lavanga Manjari and you know Rati Manjari and Guna Manjari and two more. So, um, but see from external point of view, the example they are setting. See the adhikar. Um, whole day engaging in Krishna consciousness without engagement, without seva, becomes very very difficult. Now it is easy for us because um, uh, 8 hours, 9 hours, we have job, we have family, we have kids, we have things to take care. That keeps us busy. That becomes a great benediction because it's easy to center that around Krishna. Um, mm, with many responsibility. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, don't give up varnashram dharma unless one has become a pure soul, because it's very easy to fall down. And Srila Prabhupada also said, one devotee said, I want to go to Vrindavan and chant 192 rounds. And he was very busy with his job, working in a petrol pump 10 hours a day and um, paying various bills and taking care of various situations. And he was very inspired to see the life of Vrindavan and he wanted to go to Vrindavan. Prabhupada said, no, just sit here. Don't go there. One devotee, he was in New Vrindavan. He was serving the deities. For us also in the temple, we have so many services. Um, they are required. They are required to spend time in a Krishna conscious way. For those living in temple and for outside, dovetail it around Krishna. We need that now. Um, constant kirtan, smaran with taste, ruchi is a platform of Raganuga Bhakti, which is very, very advanced. So right now we have to take steps in such a way now they can invest 24 hours. Now imagine if we have extra time, we sleep more, we eat more, we somehow loses time in talking so many things. But if it comes to let us chant more, the mind says no, I'm done. 16 rounds is done. No. So it becomes so difficult once I'm in. Some of you may have that realization. I just brought it up because I know holidays are going on. So it will become very difficult in holiday time. Imagine if you are alone. If you are alone and you have 24 hours, and this is inconceivable, living alone, among the 24 hours, they would drink little bit buttermilk a day and they would sleep 1.5 hours. I mean, highly advanced. It's like so who the Goswamis were and the life they set. Who can do alone? How much kirtan we will do? They don't play any instruments that time. Like Mahaprabhu would play a company. They were just Goswamis of Vrindavan living under different tree. See the absorption. Nana Shastra, Nidra, um, 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 Nidra, um, Ahar, Ahar and Nidra, eating and sleeping. They cut it down like that. Um, Usually, when it comes Saturday, Sunday, devotees want to sleep more because they don't know what to do, how to use their time. So maybe let's take some more rest. That's great. That's great. But somehow, let's not use our little independent free will to engage in activities um, um, inspired by Maya Devi. And that one has to be very very conscious to not misuse. So one has to develop one's adhikar to get to the stage. It will come, it takes a long, I mean, depends upon how sincere we are. It takes that much time to attain that taste for Krishna consciousness. Otherwise um, um Srila Prabhupada also at one point of time he says, in this life I will take you back to Godhead. At another point, in one of the purpose Srimad Bhagavatam, he says it is not possible to become so pure to be able to make it back to Godhead in this lifetime, unless one is very sincere. So one has to be very sincere. That's why I told this devotee, the reason you are watching video, Prabhu, because your Shravan is less. If you hear more and more and more and more and more, um, you will become serious. Those who hear a lot, they remain very serious in their Krishna consciousness. There are so many classes offered by the temple, so many Bhagavatam classes, Sunday peace classes, visiting speakers, and YouTube. Hear more. If your hearing reduces, Maya's influence will increase. That's why Srila Prabhupada said beginning of Krishna consciousness is Shravan. Actually, there is Vidhi mark and there is Rag mark. One is according to rules and regulations, one is according to spontaneous attachment. Vidhi mark, the primary anga, Kirtan is in both. But in Vidhi mark, the primary anga is Shravan. You hear more and more and more. That's how you engage yourself whole day. While cooking, you hear. While driving, you hear. In a break time, you hear. So that's how you keep yourself Krishna conscious more. Hear or read based on your taste. But let Krishna go in through Shravan or through reading. Different people have different tastes. But in Rag Mark, Smaran becomes the active principle. Whole day, um, the meditation is going on. That becomes when there is lot of taste about Krishna, um, and lot of purity. Because when purity is not there, no, empty mind will not think about Krishna. How do we get to the stage of Manmana Bhavan Bhakto? Always remember me. So Krishna has to pull us there. And it is not easy to get there to where the example set by the Sixth Goswami'S. So Prabhupada says it is possible at any time to fall down from the Lord's association. Any moment we can fall down. It takes a minute to fall down. Sometimes fall down can be mental, sometimes fall down can be physical. At any minute, one can fall down. One only misuses little independence. And see, Maya's association in our life is like too much. How much is Krishna's association? We chant 16 rounds. That time also, thought from Maya present. That time also she is with us. And how much time Krishna is with us? When devotee, we have discussed many times, we have heard devotee said, Prabhupada, sometime I get influenced by Maya. Prabhupada said, always in Maya. Sometimes you get influenced by Krishna. How many times during chanting, during hearing, during the day are you conscious of Krishna? Um, when Maya becomes active, when there's a desire to enjoy. Uh, Krishna bholiya sa jiva bhoga vancha kare. Maya sta nikata dhare japatiya dhare. As soon as one forgets Krishna and desires to enjoy, Maya presents so many ideas. That's how you can enjoy. That's how you can enjoy. Even criticism, fault finding, um, selfish nature, everything is deep down because of desire to enjoy. And we cannot get rid of this desire. We just have to direct this desire to enjoy by developing taste in Krishna consciousness, which comes by um, um, patiently, rightly, sincerely practicing Krishna consciousness. And that comes by association and Shravan, hearing and association, because when we are alone, very easy to fall down. We cannot follow the example of Sixth Goswami'S. But when we are with many devotees, then, like especially in our homes, then they protect us, they guard us. Um, Whenever there is fear, that means we're doing something wrong. Whenever there is fear. So once fallen and separated from the Supreme Personality of God's association, one becomes a candidate for suffering in the material. What happens if we fall back into Maya? Only misery comes. And Maya is only in the mind. In the Maya attacks through mind. So Maya is illusion, so it promises happiness. And then if you go further deep drench into Maya, you see there is none. It was only in the mind I was thinking there is happiness, but there is none. And see the amount of suffering it produces. Lot of suffering it produces. I was reading and I came across something that says that um, mental problems is because of illicit sex, whether it is um, engaging in activity, talking about it, thinking about it, watching, looking, whatever form it is. And see, America has 50% mental problems. People have so many mental problems. Why? Illicit sex. It has been going on. It's our culture. I mean, American culture nowadays. India is completely dead into it also. And what is the result? People don't see that because of the illusion. They see, well, why? There's a desire to enjoy. What is the result? Uh, so much suffering. They don't see the suffering. That is also because of Maya. And first of all, the happiness is not there. Uh, it's just in the mind. It's not in any of the activities, any of the sinful activities, and only problems it comes. So then what happens? Then Krishna gives a realization. See, you are suffering here, Prabhu. You are so nicely practicing Krishna consciousness. See what happened to you. Yeah, let me go back. Let me go back. In this material world, we cannot be happy. You avoid Krishna, only misery will come. Only misery comes. The reason, I mean, we were all miserable. At least I can see from my past. I don't know your past. We were all miserable without Krishna. I was miserable without Krishna. And presence of Guru and Krishna, this knowledge, this holy name, this Shravan, this association, this prasad, you know, saved us. Saved us. So let's not try going back. So one has to be very conscious and not misuse one's little free will. Very instructive purport. Always good to speak on this subject matter. Um, acts as a constant reminder. Eta Suni Krishna Das Kandite Lagila. What happened to Krishna Das? Started crying. Madhyana Karite Mahaprabhu Chali Gela. What did Mahaprabhu did? He just left. Mahaprabhu Chali Gela. Krishna Das Kandite Lagila. Immediately started crying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, now reject it. You are free to do whatever you like. Um, um, no relationship. Sorry. And then he started crying naturally. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now he was he made a mistake. We all make mistakes. I mean, it's natural conditions always they make mistakes. Um, he made a mistake, but he has a lot of devotion for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord rejected it. So naturally, right now he is in a repentance mode. After throughout, he was in repentance mode, and Mahaprabhu rejected him. Mahaprabhu was strict. Hearing the Lord reject him, Kala Krishna Das began to cry. However, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not caring for him, immediately left to take his noon lunch. When Mahaprabhu met Jagai and Madhai, when he delivered Jagai and Madhai, Lord Chaitanya told them, they said, how can we atone? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, well, I have freed you from all your sinful activities. Then we take to Krishna consciousness. Like recently, Shamkrishna Prabhu was mentioning, quoting his spiritual master Bhakti Charu Maharaj, who says that if you fast on Ekadashi, sinful reactions goes away. So because of so many sinful activities, there are so many sinful reactions that we are carrying. And by the process of bhakti, by the holy name, by fasting on special occasions like Ekadashi and Janmashtami, we are becoming pure. But if we again engage in sinful activities, then we are not treated very nicely by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Seeing the examples of um, uh, Kala Krishna Das, Chota Haridas, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Jagai Madhai, don't engage in any sinful activities again. Past is past. And because of Mahaprabhu's mercy, they started chanting 128 rounds. Jagadananda Das and Madhavananda Das. They began. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to set an example. So he um, just left. Nityananda Jagadananda Mukunda Damodara Chari jan yukti tabe karila antara. After this, the other devotees headed by Nityananda Prabhu, Jagadananda Pandit, Mukunda and Damodar began to consider a certain plan. This is where, when the Lord rejects us, the devotees helps us. There. Even though a person is rejected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotees of the Lord do not reject him. Therefore, the Lord's devotees are more merciful than the Lord himself. When we share with devotees like, okay, that's all right. They are very compassionate. But the Lord, like we see the example Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left. He is most merciful, but he's strict also. And we see the example of strictness in his own life, how strict was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and how he dealt with devotees. He would give lot of love. Everybody would relish, but don't make mistakes like sinful activities, especially. But devotees of the Lord are very merciful. Sri Narottam, now everything has a reaction. Even if we engage in Krishna consciousness, if we are devotees, chanting 16 rounds, initiated, aspiring for initiation, karma works for everyone. Um, and if we think that holy name I'm chanting anyways, so if I do something wrong, that's all right, then Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says we are further incriminated by the thought process is very sinful itself. That I can commit sinful activities on the strength of the chanting the holy names. So one has to be careful. Srinaratam Das Thakur does sing, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtara Payeche Keva. One cannot be relieved from the material clutches without engaging in the service of pure devotees. The Lord himself may sometimes be very hard, but the devotees are always kind. So we should take shelter, um, live with devotees naturally in our families, associate, hear, discuss Krishna Katha. Um, we receive shelter there. एक अपनापन सा लगता है, एक लविंग एक्सचेंज होना चाहिए भक्तों के आपस में, amongst devotees. Loving exchange is very important. The Lord's four devotees considered, we want a person to go to Bengal just to inform Sachi Mata about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival to Jagannath Puri. Devotees in Bengal are in deep separation, crying, tormented by separation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They could not tolerate 3 days. And then when Mahaprabhu came to Shantipur, they were relieved by Mahaprabhu's association. He came to Jagannath Puri, left to South India, 2 years have passed. And these devotees, Nityananda, Mukunda, Sarvabhauma, they themselves were tormented. What to speak about devotees in Bengal? And what kind of devotees are there in Bengal? Equal caliber, Advaita Acharya, Srivastava, Sachimata. So there are, they are all there. So somebody has to go. What will happen if they go? We will see today. They will start running to Puri immediately to meet Lord Chaitanya. They are just, like after Ekadashi full fast, what is the state next day? Where is Prashadam? So they are looking for that. Where is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? There is so much hunger. So they said, well, somebody has to go to Bengal anyways. There is no like phone calls or internet. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived. Pack your bags and come here. Somebody has to go to Bengal and inform them, because otherwise they won't even come to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned. So they were considering, after hearing the news of Sri Chaitanya's arrival, devotees like Advaita and Srivas will surely come to see him. They are thinking like that. Let us therefore send Krishna Das to Bengal. Saying this, they kept Krishna Das engaged in the service of the Lord and gave him assurance. Service is a benediction. Service is a benediction because two things are there. First, question yourself: can you manage if you are alone without any service in a Krishna conscious way? If you can, that's great. Can you read 4-5 hours? Can you chant 7-8 hours? Can you manage 18 hours being Krishna conscious? Pure activity, Shravan Kirtan. Can we manage the day like that? Very, very difficult. Only on advanced stage. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning, work is said to be the means. If you see Ashtanga Yoga chapter. Now, this chapter applies to Bhakti Yoga as well. So Krishna says, in the beginning, work is said to be the means. And on an advanced stages, cessation of work is said to be the means. So in the beginning, in Bhakti Yoga, our ISKCON setting, Seva is said to be the means. Because when we have Seva, then we are physically engaging. Wonderful, wonderful. When we are advanced, like sannyasis, you see, they don't like, you don't see them like washing pots, dressing the deities. They are just in a home, in their rooms, wherever they stay, or they are traveling hours and hours of flight, but they are so absorbed. I don't know about your experience, how much Krishna conscious we are in a 15 hours flight. Can we be fully absorbed in 15 hours? We will think now what to do. But then, some screen there, and mind captures all those things. Can we just be absorbed in Krishna 15 hours? Think about sannyasis. They have that adhikar. So cessation of work is the means. For them, perfection is smaran in ragmarg, smaran. So they have so much attachment, they close their eyes and they are in their own words. They have that, they have received that adhikar. So in the beginning, um, seva comes by Krishna's mercy. So here we see that Krishna, the devotees are thinking, Krishna Das, what will he do after rejected by the Lord? So send him to Bengal, engage him in service, and give him assurance. Shushmita Mataji, yes.
Yes. How long, like, is it any stage that's required, like Nishtha, or till when the service is the means?
Well, Prabhuji, we gradually are cultivating attachment to reading more, chanting more at this point of time. Usually, Ruchi. The Smaran is very deep. From what I have heard, it takes a long time to cross over another level. After, maybe you can mute. I am getting resound. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Um, longest phase is anartha nivritti. After anartha nivritti, the mind becomes stable because mind cannot do smaran. Mind, you see, when we chant the holy name, so difficult to hear the holy name also. Why? Because mind is distracted, and this is all because of anarthas. Once anarthas goes away, mind will listen. Mind can contemplate. Mind can contemplate on the name. Mind can contemplate on the form. The mind becomes stable. Then the stable mind can be used in smaran. And smaran, Nam Rup Guna Lila advancement. Slowly, with smaran on form, attachment to the form develops. Smaran on qualities, attachment to Krishna's personality develops. Smaran to Leela, um, it's like the smaran is very deep. You close your eyes and you are chanting, and pastimes are going on in the mind. There are different recommendation sadhana at the stage of anartha nivritti, sadhana stage of nishtha, sadhana stage of ruchi. But the stage of ruchi, the smaran is throughout the day. You're taking prasad and Krishna's pastime are going on. You cannot stop thinking of Krishna. Um, when ruchi develops, ashakti comes, separation comes. Where is Krishna? When can I see Krishna? The thought of Krishna and the tear will come from the eyes. Why am I not able to receive Krishna's mercy? When can I get a dust from the speck of Krishna's lotus feet? So there is an attachment. Right now, attachment is far away, Prabhuji. Right now, seeing Krishna in the holy name itself is very, very difficult. So then we have to engage ourselves so that we remain Krishna conscious, because otherwise very difficult to remain Krishna conscious throughout the day, Prabhuji. Um, nishtha, nishtha, nishtha. At the stage of nishtha means 75% purified, Prabhuji. So distractions may be there, not much. no mistakes happen as such. Usually, the nishtha you can see, like what I have heard, the form is stable in the mind for 6 to 8 years. The form stable. You can meditate on 16 rounds on the form of the Lord. Nishtha is like anartha nivriti, nam smaran. Nishtha is roop smaran. And then at the stage of nishtha, once 6 to 8 years of roop smaran is fixed, stage of nishtha is achieved, then one can start meditating and use the roop to do sadhana on meditation on Leela and Guna. It won't come naturally. That's why different sadhana for different stages. Nishtha, you meditate on the pastimes, even though the mind don't want to. Like you kind of direct the mind to think. You hear, you read, and then you do smara and smara and smara and smara. And slowly, by that, attachment to Krishna develops. Hearing about Krishna, attachment to Krishna develops. This is all sadhana. That's why if you see Prabhu, um, Rupa Goswami, it's a very long subject matter. Rupa Goswami says Raganuga Bhakti can start at the stage of Nishtha, at least Nishtha, um, uh, because then the mind is stable. And it is still a sadhana bhakti. Till bhava, it's still sadhana bhakti. If you see there is sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, prema bhakti, Rupa Goswami, nectar of devotion. Sadhana bhakti is Vidhi sadhana bhakti and Raganuga sadhana bhakti. Purpose of Vidhi sadhana bhakti is Raganuga sadhana bhakti. It's all there. Whatever we are doing, everything is in it. It's in it. And then Raganuga sadhana bhakti begins with Nishtha or any time later, at least Nishtha. Um, and then Ruchi Ashakti are the stage where, and also Prabhuji, Krishna arranges everything. When you are ready for Smaran Sadhana, Krishna will arrange in such a way that your services will significantly reduce and you will get a lot of time to read and do Smaran. But Krishna won't put us in everything. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. All arrangements are made by Krishna. Like my spiritual master says, no need to worry. Just like Prabhupada said, just keep chanting and you will be dragged to perfection. How Krishna arranges. Um, um, we hear in Guru Puja, Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita. The transcendental knowledge of how to attain Prema Bhakti comes by the mercy of Sri Guru. When Sri Guru is pleased, he will give you realization within. Now you do this. Now you do this. Now you do this. This called Divya Gyan, transcendental knowledge. This comes from within the heart, Prabhu. Hriday Prakashita. Um, uh, did I answer, Prabhu?
Yes, bro.
Any follow-up question?
One question on the yeah. So then, how do we draw the line? Like, let's say there is a desire to read more or chant more in the because of not willing to service, just trying to escape serving and giving the reason for hearing and chanting.
Understood. Well, Prabhu, uh, we may try. We get 4 hours. Now look at it. Did I read 4 hours? Okay, 2 hours I read, 2 hours I chanted. Great, amazing. My experience, many times I have seen devotees. They try to make their own arrangements instead of Krishna making arrangements for them, because they are inspired by seeing others chanting and reading for 4 hours, 5 hours. So they're like, yeah, this is what I want to do. So they make their own arrangements and then they escape service. And then if they are later on asked, so Prabhu, and then they said, actually, I got distracted. I had to make these phone calls. I have to do this, and I have to talk to this person. That person talking was not necessary. Yes, they may talk because some or other we aspire for something that we like to do, and then and then we see 4 hours have passed. I did not hear and chant. So a tree is known by its fruit. Okay, we may desire. um, Adhikar means when we have adhikar for something, we'll be allowed to do it. Now, I can read 4 hours and chant 4 hours today. Can I continue this sadhana for 1 month, 2 month, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year? If I can continue for a long time, means I have attained this much adhikar. Krishna has given this mercy to me. Guru has given this mercy to me. But trying to do something that we are not ready for, we may try once or twice, but check the tree, check the fruit by check the taste the fruit, whatever it is. See if it's actually working for us. If it is working, amazing. Krishna will definitely make arrangements at that time. So, and Krishna is all merciful. Even if some devotee tries to escape, first of all, Krishna will not let them, because Krishna is merciful, Guru is merciful. So they will arrange seva. Seva should be seen as Krishna's mercy. Guru and Krishna's arrangement, because they inspired for us to be engaged in seva. That is mercy. Um, did I cover different aspects, Prabhu?
Yeah, yes. Thank you.
Any follow-up question?
No.
Okay, good. So, so they said, let us therefore send Krishna Das to Bengal. Saying this, they kept Krishna Das engaged in the service of the Lord, and through service, they kind of protected him, because now he has something to do, which is centered around Krishna. So, it is favorable. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, in 12th chapter, if you read, the highest thing is always remember me. If you can't always remember me, follow the regulative principles of devotional service, which is hearing and chanting. If you can't do that, then you work for me. So Krishna has defined those stages, 12th chapter. Um, we can't follow just hearing and chanting, so work for Krishna. Work for Krishna and do the minimum hearing and chanting. And then slowly, hearing and chanting, adhikar will increase, keep hearing and chanting. Then comes when the stage of spontaneous devotion comes, then we can remember Krishna all the time. And Krishna says, if you remember me all the time, you will come to me. So so we know from where we can tip to spiritual world, from where we can step to spiritual world. And now goal is that. So now whatever it takes to attain that goal. Um, Pure devotees engage only in Shravan Kirtan, but they have the adhikar to engage them. At the same time, if we try to run away from Shravan Kirtan, um, we are not letting ourselves to increase our adhikar. It will take us much longer to attain the adhikar, to engage in more Shravan Kirtan. So one should strike a balance. Seva is important. Opportunity for Shravan Kirtan, let's do Shravan Kirtan. Um, Increase the adhikar. So see, it's a sadhana. Sadhana means you try, you force. That's what sadhana means. Sadhana means practice. It's not sadhya. Sadhya means goal. Sadhya means achieved. Sadhana means कोशिश करो, try करो, और श्रवण कीर्तन करो, और करो, और करो, और करो, और करो. You see, Prabhuji's and Mataji's. In the beginning, we chant 16 rounds, we chant 32 rounds, we chant 64 rounds, chant 96 rounds, chant 192 rounds. It's all sadhana. Pure devotees don't need to chant 16 also, but they chant just to set an example. They're always remembering Krishna Prabhu. So we cannot say that I am chanting this many rounds and these senior devotees, they are chanting only 16 rounds, or they are chanting this much. No, they have attained something. Now they can do whatever they want. मिल गया उनको. हम क्या है? We are struggling. So we want that purity, we want that adhikar, that will come. Otherwise, highest stage, if you see highest stages, you can always remember Krishna. Satatam kirtiyantam yejna pariyupasate. Always remembering Krishna. That will come spontaneous. When we attain that, there is no need to do that. It's a sadhana for us to get there. So, yeah. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected him, Kala Krishna Das became very, very sorry and began to cry. Therefore, the Lord's devotees took compassion upon him, gave him assurance, and encouraged him to continue to engage in Lord's service. So, this is the mercy of devotees. Oh, gir gaye, but devotees consoled him and said, "No, it's okay, Kala Krishna, don't worry, let's do this, and we will make all the arrangements for you." This is mercy. The next day, all the devotees asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please give permission for a person to go to Bengal. They did not say, please give permission for Kala Krishna Das to go to Bengal. They didn't take his name. So they were very intelligent. Now they cannot do anything without telling Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows everything. But they are also very careful how they are presenting Lord Chaitanya because their mood is pure. We want this devotee to receive the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is no selfish motive. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is okay with that. So please give permission for a person to go to Bengal. Sachi Mata and all the devotees headed by Advaita are all very unhappy due to not receiving news about your return from your South India tour. Upon hearing this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, do whatever you decide. Mahaprabhu did not ask also, whom are you sending? Mahaprabhu would not go into the details. Best is if in services, we don't go into the details. Give the service and come out of it. Don't go into details, because if we go into details, trouble comes. Like, okay, Prabhuji Mataji, you do this seva. Especially when you are giving service, don't go into detail how to do, what to do, details. No, Krishna has given intelligence. Do the best you can, and then come out of it. If you go into detail, it will create conflicts. So, like my spiritual master says, micromanagement is not good. Create problems. Micromanaging means nitty-gritty details. Don't micromanage anyone. Um, um, have faith when you give some seva to somebody, and be ready for any results, good or bad. And give freedom. Um, um, in freedom, best results comes. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would never go into details. So Mahaprabhu said, do whatever you like. In this way, Kala Krishna Das was sent to Bengal, and he was given sufficient quantity of Lord Jagannath's food, remnants were distributed. Lord of Mahaprasad he took, and that's how Kala Krishna Das was saved. Now Kala Krishna Das reached Bengal, and now we will see what happened when he meets Sachi Mata. Now imagine the state of Sachi Mata. Husband lost. One son took sannyas. First son took sannyas. He died. Husband died. The second son was married. He left. Vishnu Priya is there. Sachi Mata is there. Ishan, servant. Three of them live in their home, full of tears every day. Vishnu Priya continuously chants, wears white robes, doesn't see anyone, do normal activities, minimal, continuously chants. And her sadhana is every round she puts a grain of rice aside, and as many rounds, that many grains she would cook once a day, just that much rice. Um, Deep separation, chanting kirtans. She has a deity of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. She has the sandal of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the slippers. You can still get darshan of the slipper of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu's mandir in Kola Dweep. Once you go to Mayapur, Navadweep, one of the Dweep is Kola Dweep. There is a temple of Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, which was the deity given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Vishnu Priya to worship. She sits in front of the deity of Gaurang Mahaprabhu, cries whole day, chants whole day, uh, uh, bow down to the foot of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's her life. How much ever she chant, each round one grain of rice she would eat, and that's it. Um, and see the pain. Later on, we will see when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Bengal. He stayed. We will go in this pastime in detail. Just connect to Vishnu Priya. He went to Navadvip back. After we will see soon, he will try to go to Vrindavan, and he will go through Bengal. So he stayed at the house of Vidya Vachaspati, and we will see those details as we progress. Um, a devotee went to the house of Sachi Mata, informing that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is at the house of Vidya Vachaspati, and Sachi Mata became blissful. Sachi Mata wants Vishnu Priya to come, and the devotee said, Vishnu Priya cannot come. Vishnu Priya is listening. And he said, and after taking sannyas, the wife cannot see the husband ever. So Sachi Mata saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vishnu Priya could not go. In front of her eyes, she is getting the news from Sachi Mata. How is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? After taking sannyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Shantipur. Sachi Mata went there. Vishnu Priya could not go. And Vishnu Priya curses herself every day, saying that the whole, every living entity can take darshan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu except me. Everyone, whether animal kingdom, human beings, devotees, non-devotees, Mahaprabhu is embracing devotees, non-devotees, giving them Krishna prema. Everyone is allowed to see Lord Chaitanya except me. Uh, she cannot end the life. Sachimata will be alone. She cannot live. So this is her state. And why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took that step? To deliver all of us. That's why he took sannyas. So very painful. So here we see Kala Krishna Das is going to give the news. Vishnu Priya is like a sad story, basically. And she lived very long life. Even after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departed, Vishnu Priya and Sachimata are there. She lived a very long life. So everything is Lord's arrangement, and she is goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, it is said, and for the sake of assisting in Lord's pastime. Same thing happened. Cannot go in Krishna Lila, but same pastime Krishna Lila. Gopis also pray in a similar way that the deers can take darshan of Krishna. The peacocks, the all the boys. What to speak about the flute? We cannot. If we take darshan of Krishna, uh, you know, we will be criticized. If we take darshan of Krishna, He's a supreme Lord, soul of all living entities, and we are not allowed. But it is more intimate there in Krishna Lila. But same thing here between Vishnu Priya and Sachi Mata. So Kala Krishna Das, he went there. So you see, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami does not speak much about Vishnu Priya, only Sachi Mata, because only she is allowed. So meeting Mother Sachi. So thus Kala Krishna Das went to Bengal, and he first went to Navadip to see Mother Sachi. The first thing first is Mahaprabhu's mother. Kala Krishna Das first offered his obeisances and delivered the food remnants, Mahaprasada. He then informed her of the good news that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had returned from his South India tour. She still cannot go to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in, uh, uh, but at least he met few times when he came here. Sonia Anandita Haila Sachi Mata Ramana Shiva Sadi Ara Yata Yata Bhakta Gana. This good news gave much pleasure to Mother Sachi. Uh, Anandita Haila Sachi Mata Ramana, as well as all the devotees of Navadip headed by Shiva's Thakur. So in that way, Kala Krishna Das is going to the house of Sachi Mata, house of Shiva's Thakur. Nimai Pandit has returned, and who can give a better news than Kala Krishna Das? He can speak about every activity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, delivering the Kurma Brahmana from leprosy, and various activities he did wherever, converting all the everybody in South India to chanting the holy names of Krishna, and all the places he visited. Um, Unlimited pastimes that we saw past 2-3 months. This South India Yatra is going on. So who can give more better news than Kala Krishna Das? So they talk about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, gave a lot of pleasure. Meeting Advaita, Krishna Das then next went to the house of Advaita Charya. After paying him respectful obeisances, Kala Krishnadas offered Mahaprasadam to Advaita Acharya. He then informed him of the news of Lord Chaitanya in complete detail. We see whenever in Chaitanya Leela, whenever they go to meet devotees, they carry Mahaprasad with them. So we must also cultivate that habit when we go and meet devotees. Give some Mahaprasad if you can. Like in temple, we have facility, but at home may be difficult. But here we see Kala Krishna Das, wherever he is going, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami specifically mentions he gave Mahaprasad to everyone. So after paying him respectful, like one of the instruction of my spiritual master to all the devotees, brahmacharis in Chopati, wherever you go, don't go without Mahaprasad. There are so many beggars, policemen, traffic signals. Anybody comes to ask anything, you should have something. Otherwise, he would become unhappy. So that's his mood also, Mahaprasad. So after paying him respectful obeisances, Krishnadas offered Mahaprasad to Advaita. He then informed him of the news of Lord Chaitanya in complete detail. Shuni Acharya Gosaira, Ananda Haila, Prema Veshe Hukar Bahu, Nitya Gita Kaila. So what was Advaita Acharya? He became Ananda, became blissful. Prema Veshe Hunkar. Hunkar means started shouting. Like, oh Chaitanya, like raised his arms. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Hunkar means loud cries. And then Bahu Nritya Gita Kaila. So he started shouting and he started dancing like a madman. So by this, we also see the quality of Advaita Acharya. That's why Leela contains the guna. Guna is quality, Leela is pastime. So when you hear the Leela, you understand the personality. Understanding personality means guna. For example, if I think about some of you or all of you one by one, then some qualities will come to me. Okay, how is this Prabhu? How is this Mataji? What is the nature of this Prabhu? What is the nature of this Mataji? What is the nature of this Prabhu? What is the nature of this Mataji? So how do I know the qualities of the devotees in the room? Because of their leelas. Leelas means for us, my interaction with them, their response in different circumstances. That brings out your nature. And likewise, when you think of Shamananda Krishna Das, the way I respond to different situations, the way I, how much I interact, intermingle, or in whichever way, you know me as a personality. Okay, this is the nature of Shamananda Krishna Das. This is the nature of these devotees. So through interactions, guna comes out. That's why hearing about God Leela and hearing about Krishna Leela will help us realize the qualities. Quality of Shri Krishna, quality of Srimati Radharani, qualities of Lalita Devi, likewise quality of Advaita Acharya, quality of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When we are absorbed, when we are hearing, some of these qualities will strike us, like attract us. That will pave way from Roop to Guna Dhyan. That's why hearing about the pastimes is really important. Um, about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and about Bhagwan Sri Krishna. So here the quality of Advaita is coming out. Like you see during Mahaprasad pastime, when he invited Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he fed Mahaprasad. So his quality, how he takes care of guests. Unlimited guests came from Navadvip to Shantipur. He arranged for all of their prasad, their stay, their daily needs like brush and all those things, um, uh, and how he fed so many items Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he served his feet, and then how he has the hasya mood also between Nitai and when there was exchange. Yodud Brahman, he Nitan Prabhu said, I'm fasting and I thought I will get something, and there is a morsel only here. What is the need? And Advaita Acharya said, see, first of all, you are a sannyasi. Sannyasi means supposed to beg. So you should be happy whatever you get. And I'm a poor Brahmana. This is what I have. Now be satisfied and thank you very much. So we see a hasya mood in Advaita Acharya. And here we see his ecstasy, his love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then it is also said when he called for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhagwan Shri Krishna, Hunkar, worshipping Tulsi with uh, Shaligram, with Tulsi and Ganga water, and loud cries for the Lord to descend to deliver. So we see his concern for all living entity. We see his love, his hasya mood. So the quality of Advaita comes out. Through Leela, Guna comes out. So Sunyacharya Gosaira Ananda Haila Prema Veshe Hokar Bahu Nitya Gita Kaila. When Advaitacharya Goswami heard of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's return, he became very pleased. In his great ecstasy of love, he made a rumbling sound and danced and chanted for a long time. Rumbling. So Kala Krishna does like, wow, so much love. So informing other devotees of Lord's returns, Haridas Thakur Arera, Haila Parama Ananda, Vasudeva Datta Gupta, Murari Sena Shivananda. After hearing this auspicious news, Haridas Thakur became very pleased. So also did Vasudev Datta, Murari Gupta, Shivananda Sen, Acharya Ratna, Vakreshwar Pandit, Acharya Nidhi, Gadadhar Pandit were all very pleased to hear the news. Sri Ram Pandit, Damodar Pandit, Shriman Pandit, Vijay, Sridhar were also very pleased to hear. Raghav Pandit, Nandanacharya, and all devotees became very satisfied. How many can I describe? So, what a wonderful seva Kala Krishna Das got. How many devotees he met. And by the mercy of Nityan Prabhu, Guru, who represents Gurudev, they are all very, very Nitya Siddha exalted devotees. This Advaita, Mahavishnu, this. Who are these personalities? Mother Yashoda, Narada Muni, and Ida Sagur is Brahma. So, what are these personalities? By giving this news, he see the amount of blessings he received. He got a chance to speak about Mahaprabhu, speak about God Leela. He got a chance to give them so much pleasure. He gave so much Mahaprasad. So much blessings he collected. This is the mercy of Vaishnavas, mercy of Guru, that he got this service. And why he got? Because actually he was very repentful. He was crying. So Nityan Prabhu, Gurudev, Gurudev is very merciful actually. Whenever you make mistake, beg to Guru Maharaj, please. And Gurudev, mercy. See, everything is arrangement. Somebody may give us some seva, or somebody may give us some very nice seva, but the matter of fact is they were inspired in that way. Everything is Guru's and Krishna's arrangement. Others are nimitta matra, like direct cause, but Guru and Krishna is indirect cause. Everything is given by Guru and Krishna, but through devotees in our environment and through various, but they're all instruments, Guru and Krishna. Just like Arjuna, he killed, but he was a nimitta matram bhave sabyasachi. He was an instrument. Krishna actually did everything. Likewise, Guru and Krishna's arrangement, that he got this much seva. Okay, so getting close, let us finish just 2-3 verses before we see them coming. Soon after, we will see all of their meetings with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their tour to Jagannath Puri, and all the devotees one by one arrived, and their interaction with Lord Chaitanya. That will bring out the qualities of Lord, how caring he is, how he received devotees, and various aspects. But just let him inform the devotees, then we will stop the discussion today. Sonia Sabara Haila Parama Ullas Sabe Meli Gela Shri Advaitera Pass. Everyone was very pleased, and they all gathered together at the house of Advaitacharya. So what happened? Abhi to chalo. So now got the news. Everyone you see here, they are crying and dancing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come back. And this picture, this is a window to spiritual world. You see their expressions. This first person, Advaitacharya, the second person, full of prema wish, love, parama ullas, ecstatic feeling. And they all met at the house of Advaitacharya. What did they do after meeting at the house of Advaitacharya? All the devotees offered respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya. In return, Advaita Acharya embraced all of them. Dina Dui Tina Acharya, Mahotsava Kaila, Nilachala Haithya Yukti Drida Kaila. Advaita Acharya then held a festival that lasted 2 or 3 days. Why the festival? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is returned. The festival, Mahaprasad. This is again the quality of Advaita Acharya. So eager to serve. Thereafter, they all made a firm decision to go to Jagannath Puri. So all of them got together, they chanted, they danced, a Mahotsav, Lord of Mahaprasadam, crying tears, deep meditation. Abhi raha nahi ja raha. Now we cannot live without. Chetan Mahaprabhu, Nimai Pandit has returned. Chalo, pack your bags and go. All the devotees met together at Navadvip, and with Mata Sachi's permission, they parted for Niladri, Jagannath Puri. Okay, so that's all, and lot of things will happen. This is now the pastime will flow really quickly. So a lot of pastimes we will see. So any discussions today? Any questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, so we can end here. Panchakalpatarubhyasya kripasindhusya evacha tana avannaya Anantapodi Vaishnavendra. Thank you very much. Dhanwad.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.